Okay, so originally I was gonna bring back Ramblings with like a Chuggington toy line review, but that kind of fell through because this video is going to be a lot bigger than I was expecting, and I just wanted something nice and simple to get up for the March break. So here's the movie I put off reviewing for a few years. Enjoy! My gym partner's a monkey has not aged well with the times, and the Big Field Trip TV movie is pretty much an example of why that's the case. In an era of chowders and out of Jimmy's heads, this was about 3 notches away from out of Jimmy's head. Not that terrible, but like, not very good. Credits due, it wasn't one of the worst Cartoon Network shows ever, and it was at least sort of fun in terms of its art direction and voice cast. Unfortunately, the show got sunk thanks to lame writing and uninspired plot lines. Ironic considering the concept of the show about a kid who pretty much gets sent to an animal school thanks to autocorrect is actually a pretty creative premise. If only the plots were just so forgettable, even though I watched a bunch as a kid. But I'm choosing to talk about the TV movie that the show did, mostly because, well, this is kind of a good example of a TV movie from that point when TV movies were big that didn't end up going so well. Nick and Disney are getting profit from the TV movie business! Harold, give every show we've got that's making decent ratings a TV movie! The end result were a couple of TV movies that actually were pretty good, and then some eggs that weren't exactly all that good. This is one of them. The movie pretty much follows Adam Lang and Jake Spider-Monkey, the 2 leads of the show, joining the rest of the Charles Darwin Middle School gang for the annual school band Big Field Trip. Just from that sentence, you actually get a lot of funny opportunities to work with, especially if you've been on as many field trips as I have, a nearly 20-year-old college student learning animation. Unfortunately, the writers kind of give up after the first quarter, and instead of going with a funny National Lampoon-style plotline, they just dump them in a forest and then just do 3 different plot lines. I'm pretty sure there's about 3. The major joke being for all of these is they're afraid of actual wild animals because the zoo animals don't have their instincts anymore, which could have been interesting, but they just wasted on jokes that get dragged out for way too long, as do most of these TV movies that have mostly inexperienced crews who were just kind of tooted out into existence. But yeah, the subplots are like Adam loses his piccolo to a chipmunk, that somehow leads Jake to becoming a chipmunk king. The 4 characters are actually funnier than the main leads. They get into a Lord of the Flies thing, which they allude to, and then the teacher's doing stuff, and then Adam, like, literally the last quarter of the movie, he encounters some bears, and then stuff happens, and bleh. I probably shouldn't have recorded this while I had a cold. The movie's pretty much like actually being stuck on a road trip. You're just kind of sitting there waiting for something exciting to happen, but then nothing really happens and you just want to do something else, but you're stuck there and you can't really do anything. There are times when they actually do throw in some funny jokes, but most of them are either uninspired, uncreative, or just kind of feel like they're there just to get to the 44-minute finish line. Seriously, some of these gags go on for like a solid minute or 2. It's pretty not good. It isn't exactly made fun with the 2 main characters are kind of not really fun to watch. Adam's just Todd from Wayside with no personality, and Jake is just not fun to be around. Not even the beautiful vocals of Tom Kenny can save this poor monkey. Then again, he couldn't save Elf Boy in the movie, but honestly, I'd just rather watch this movie than Elf Boy in the movie, because Elf Boy in the movie is just terrible. Though at least the side characters, even though they still suffer from bad subplots, are a little more fun to watch. Like, who can remember such iconic characters such as Slips, Principal Pixie Frog, Slips, Windsor, Ontario, Slips, Toucan Sam's cousin, Slips, Jeffrey the Giraffe's sister, and Slips. Okay, the point is, Slips the best character. You can't argue. Slips is just the greatest of them. Even the animation just kind of leaves me feeling, which sucks because the movie is actually kind of nice to look at times. The character designs are all spot on and the backgrounds are just beautiful to look at, and rightfully so, because they won an Emmy. Yes, this TV movie is somehow an Emmy Award winner. I don't know how. Wait, I do know how. Why am I acting like I don't know how? That's kind of redundant. But the actual character animation is just kind of like Family Guy, but not as bad as Family Guy. There's some funny poses here and there, but it's mostly just very generic and uninspired poses that they just kind of pull out every now and then. Though I probably shouldn't complain because I'm a first-year animation student, so I'm still kind of a baby. I am but a beginning bub in the world of animation. But then again, this movie spoils its ending through a freaking who's on what routine, so I don't know. Yeah, spoilers if you actually wanted to watch this movie. The Big Field Trip is to a big field. You get it? It's a big field trip. Also, this ending confuses me because most of the movie is just kind of like, oh, the piccolo causes the animals to go to sleep because real instruments put them to sleep. But at the end, it's like they still kind of have instruments. I know they're not like conventional instruments, but they're still instruments. So I know the music is like that they play is bad, but like, why? They're still instruments. Why? They're still instruments, so why are they being put to sleep? I don't even care. It's not worth it. I'm not friggin' nostalgic, Mr. Not So Nostalgic Critic. Overall, do I recommend the Big Field Trip?
No.
It's far from worst TV movie ever territory, but it's not really worth your time or effort. It's not even so much a so bad it's good TV movie, it's just kind of like your average, not very good, dragged out, pretty much just pumped out for the sake of advertising TV movie that seemed to be pretty common during this time period. If you want to watch My Gym Partner's a Monkey though, then I would recommend you go ahead and check out My Gym Partner's a Podcast, which pretty much has like the whole first season done so far. So if you want to get a pretty basic idea of watching the show while having some fun watching the show, then go watch that instead. I cannot wait for them to give their thoughts on this movie, and also the other hour-long special that wasn't advertised as a movie, but was still kind of a movie anyway, Animal School Musical, which is actually a little bit more memorable. But anyways, that's enough Gym Partner for the day. I'm Milan, thanks for watching, and maybe more rambling soon. Let's see how this one does, folks. Well, the chugging one's also got to come out, so you guys are gonna like have to see that soon. Anyway, see ya.